of them a day.
Born to a new country. For 50 years running, 1,000 people a day.
Born to New York Harbor. For a new life, for a better life.
Another chance to reinvent themselves.
And from all over they come. Ireland,
Germany,
Greece,
Russia, Italy,
Scotland,
Hungary,
Egypt,
Turkey, Denmark, Romania,
China,
Morocco.
From all over the world they come.
1,000 people a day for 50 years.
The Reverend Grace to speak at Trinity Church tonight. Community meeting at 7 p.m.
We have a dangerous situation in our city. Children everywhere, orphans, neglected, abused. According to police, over 10,000 of them in our streets. Living like beggars, like animals. Good Christian people can no longer afford to look the other way.
It's all the foreigners. They're ruining our country. Can't even take care of their own.
It's not their fault sometimes. A lot of them died in the fever epidemic. And those slums they live in, conditions beyond belief.
Whatever the reason for their parents being gone, alive or dead, they're in our streets. We must do something.
Carmen, we have at the orphan asylums. I do charity work there. They're doing a good job with those orphans.
But they're turning children away. All of them. Even the convent orphanages. They're overflowing. I cannot care for a fraction of the children who are in our streets.
So we build more orphanages.
There's a better way for these children in the orphanages. To give them fresh air. The country, a clean, simple life with loving families on farms in the West and in the South.
They're saying foreign families want them. Why?
How do you know? I've posted notices in newspapers all over the West. There are thousands of good Christian farmers and ranchers whose families would take these orphans to give them a home and a good life.
And so the Orphan Train project was born. The Reverend Grace raised thousands in donations for train fare for the orphans. Trainloads of children, mostly immigrant children, orphaned or neglected, ages 6 months to 15 years, leave New York every week for the West to 47 states and territories for 75 years. April 1912, an orphan train leaves New York for Port Joseph, Missouri.
All right, children, board the train. Quickly now. 3 to a seat. Make sure you have your bags.
Anya, I told you, no extra things, just your clothes.
Please, Miss Tippett, it was my father's.
Where you're going, you won't be needing it. You'll have a new life.
I'm the oldest of 5. Mom and Papa were good to all of us. But Papa went to work at the docks one morning and never came back. Mama went looking for him and asking around. Some say he was killed. I guess we'll never know. But we were still right, though. We took in laundry, and my brothers sold papers. But then Mama died in the fever after Gina was born. Then they came for us. I don't know where my 3 brothers are now. But they promised to keep us together. They promised. And I promised Mama I'd never leave Gina.
All right, children, come on. Quickly now. Not a word. Single file around the train. Hurry now. That's it. Good evening, ladies and sirs. Find me
she had a miscarriage about a year ago. We wanted to adopt the baby ever since. This is the first baby you've seen off these trains in about a year. We'll take her, ma'am. Raise her like our own.
Her name's Gina. We're sisters.
And where's your mother?
She died in childbirth. We've been at the orphanage ever since.
She's so beautiful. George, we'll sign papers now and take her home with us.
George, I promised my mom we'd stay together. Oh, take me too, ma'am. I'll be good. I can cook. I can wash clothes.
George! Excuse me, sir, madam. I'll take care of it. It's not a problem. Happens all the time when siblings get separated. Now listen, Maria. I know this is hard. But these folks want Gina, and you'll have to let her go.
Promised mom we'd stay together.
Maria, when we found you, all five of you, you were living in the storeroom of a sewing factory, full of filth and no food. The baby would be dead if it weren't for us.
Why don't they want me too?
Because their baby died, and they want Gina. Now, if you love Gina, you'll do what's best for her. Give her to these good people for them to take care of her.
No, please, Miss Albright.
Here you are, Mr. and Mrs. Singer. Come along, children.
And that was the last time I saw my sister. The train went south to Arkansas, and I was adopted by an elderly couple who owned a small farm. They were kind, had no children of their own, and so they adopted me and gave me a wonderful life. But I would have given it all up in a minute just to see my mother's face again. My sisters and my brothers, just for one day. I was given a good life, but I never forgot that there was another me, a part of my past that was taken from me.
August 1914, New York Orphan Asylum. A train is scheduled to leave the next day for 3 cities in Illinois. The train will be full to make more room at the orphanage.
Why can't they stay at the orphanage, Miss Clifford? Just till I get back on my feet again. Their father's dead. I've been sick. I couldn't work. But I'm almost better now.
This is to certify that I am the mother and only legal guardian of Patricia and Michael Burke. I hereby freely and of my own will agree for the Children's Aid Society to provide them homes until they are of age. I hereby promise not to interfere with any arrangements that they may make. Mary P. Burke. You need to sign here, Miss Burke.
But I'm trying to tell you, Miss Clifford, I just need you to keep him for a few more weeks. Please don't put him on the trains.
Miss Burke! Look at you. You've got consumption, ma'am. You won't last past Christmas. Now, do what's best for your children. I'll make sure they get good homes. Besides, when you left them here, they became wards of the city. It's Messensburg. Trust me. Please sign.
And Sama signed the papers. We told her not to worry, and that even if they did put us on those trains, we'd find a way back to her.
Take care of your big sister. Here. Now don't lose this, Patricia. Now, write to me when you get settled. As long as you have my address, you'll always be able to find me.
Patricia Burke, come get on the train.
Hold on to that now. Keep it in a safe place. God be with you, Patricia.
All right, children, we are in Three Rivers, Illinois, and these fine families have come to give you good new homes. File out now. Single file on the side of the train.
Wait, Michael, I have to get something!
Patricia Burke, come get in line with the others.
I lost an envelope. I need to find it.
You don't need an envelope for where you are now. This here will be your life now. So go ahead and get in line.
Never did find that envelope with my mom's address. Michael was adopted in Three Rivers, and I never saw him again. Then, I got placed with a family in Nebraska. Never adopted me, just wanted cheap labor. That's about it. Wasn't bad, though. Learned to ride a horse, herd cows, grow crops. Never saw my mother again. I wanted to go back to New York as soon as I turned 16 to try to find her. But my friends talked me out of it. Told me she'd probably be dead. Maybe they were right, so I never went. But at night sometimes, I see Ma and Michael's faces and hear Ma talking to me in my dreams.
May 1915. An orphan train leaves New York for Point West, final stop, Kansas.
All right, children, we're in Germantown, Kansas, and the good families here have come to open up their homes and hearts to you for wonderful new lives on their farms. Quickly now, single file, stand on the platform. Good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
What's your name, son?
It ain't son, and I ain't your son.
How old are you?
Not old enough to be left alone, where I was.
Hey, Clara, this one's a character. Say, have you ever ridden a horse? Well, are you hungry?
This one's 14. Says name is Chris. Chris Schultz.
Well, might please make your acquaintance, Miss Schultz. How would you like to come back to the farm with Miss Lathy and me?
He'll accept Mr. Lathy, won't you, Chris?
I guess so. Got nothing to lose. Am I going to go to school and all? Or are you going to work me like a dog?
Chris, you go to school, and do chores and have fun, just like other two children.
You got 2 kids? What do you want me for?
To give you a home, Chris. We'd like to be your parents, if you'll let us. Right now, let's get you home to some stew and biscuits.
And that was it. Like I'd made this journey from my old life and gone to heaven or something. I've been in the streets my whole life, selling papers and living in a shed behind a tenement with the other paper boys. We was a gang. And that was my life for as long as I could remember. No mother, no father.
Why don't you go wash up at the pump out back before we eat? There's soap out there and a wooden tub. It's already filled with hot water.
Here.
Arthur?
What? What is it?
You're not gonna believe this, but our Chris, she isn't a Christopher, but a Christine.
What?
She's a girl.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, go see for yourself. Wait, no. Don't go see for yourself.
I'm sorry. I should have told you back at the train station. But I was afraid
Of what?
that you wouldn't want me if you knew I was a girl.
Chris, why don't you dressing like a boy?
Since I was 5 or 6, see, in the city, only boys sell the newspapers. They won't let girls. So I dressed up as a boy to get me a job at a newsstand. I ended up one of the best news hawkers in all of New York. Hey, get your papers here!
Well, Chris, you can be a girl here with us. You'll go to school and be one of the family.
And tomorrow, we go to town in these dresses.
And that was the first day of my new life. My life as Christine Levy, not Chris, daughter of Arthur and Clara of Germantown, Kansas. Even though I'd never been to school, and I was behind, I could read. I did well at Germantown High School, and later on graduated 5th in the class of 1923. And to be loved by parents, Arthur and Clara, and my brother and sister, Lester and Maggie, well, that was better than I'd ever hoped for myself how things could be.
And the orphan trains keep rolling, one every week out of New York, Boston, and Philadelphia. July 1918, Indiana, an orphan train arrives in Flintridge.
Good evening, everyone. The Children Aid Society of New York thanks you all for this opportunity. I am Miss Velma Scott, the agent in charge of these children, who have names, ages, and backgrounds of each child.
What a sham! Get these foreigners children out of our town!
Don't pay them any mind. Town's wrong.
And ain't we high and mighty now? Hypocrites! The whole lousy parcel of yous! Adoption is a loving homes in a pig's eye. You all want cheap labor for your farms, and she knows it, and she's letting you do it. Now that's enough, sir. You don't know what you're saying. Hold your tongue in front of these children. You're scaring them. Shouldn't they ought to be hearing the truth? At least you owe that to them.
Sebastian, you get on out of here. Now, before I tie you to a wagon, haul your sorry carcass to the jail. Your second home.
All right, I'll go. But I have no mind to stay and watch these children get handed over like cattle to shameful hypocrites.
Sorry about him, ma'am. The name's Dobbs. My wife and I, we got 300 acres right outside of town. Plenty of room and fresh air for these orphans.
We always wanted a boy, but all we got were 3 daughters, and they all married and gone off by now. Sure, we do need help with chores, but we're fixing to raise a boy and love him like our own, and send him to school and such, and adopt him.
And any one of these boys would be suitable and delighted with the loving home as such you give them, ma'am.
And that's how the evening went in Flintridge, Indiana. It was our sixth stop. The dogs took 2 boys with them, and then there were 8 of us left. After that, the rest of the girls got placed with families that night. Except me. Was too old, the agent told me. 15, and they think you're too old. Could run away or steal from them, cause trouble. I've been at the orphan asylum since I was 2. Never knew my parents, no brother or sister.
The matron said I had a tag on my blanket that was written in German.
But all it said was that my name was Marlena. And that's all I know about who I am and where I'm from. Wish they had just left me at the orphan asylum taking care of the little ones.
I'm sorry, Marlena. We got 2 or 3 stops on the way back to New York. Come on, we'll go eat some pie together on the train.
Wait! My neighbor said that there was one girl left. An older child.
Yes? Can I help you?
Yes, the name's Miss Maddie Reitman, and I'd like to take the girl home with me, if I may.
Not meaning to be rude, ma'am, but the age society sets an age limit on adoptive or foster parents.
I'm a widow, to be sure, in my 60s, but I'm well off and can give a good home to the girl.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but rules are
Wait,
rules.
Miss Scott, I'll talk to the lady if I may.
Well, I suppose we'll be all right. I'll be back by the train if you need me.
I'm Marlena Brack, ma'am.
I'm Maddie Reitman, my dear. How old are you?
I'm 15, ma'am.
And how long have you been an orphan? All my life. So, you're alone in the world, are you? Well, except for Miss Scott and the orphan asylum. Yes, ma'am. Well, that makes 2 of us. I'm alone too. Husband died 5 years ago, and my son, our only son, Albert.
Oh, he's handsome, ma'am.
Yes, he is. Well, was. My boy died in the war over in France, my only child. My family, what's left of them, are all back in Delaware. I've been here since I've been 18 and they wouldn't know me.
So, you want me to come and live with you?
I have a nice house with a grocery and fruit market. It does real well. And I want to share it with someone, Marlena. My life has had its share of tragedies and joys, and there's not a thing I fear in this world, not even death. But I do fear being alone in life and in my dreams. That's all women do. I don't want you as a maid or nurse, Marlena. I'm in good health, still run my shop, and can afford to hire help if I want to. But to have a family again, someone to care about, to laugh with, to share, a dear girl like yourself to love. Sorry.
It's all right, Miss Maddie. I know all about loneliness, too. Seems like I'd be perfect for you. Besides, a younger child might be way too much for you.
So, Marlena, would you like to go live with Miss Reitman?
Yes, ma'am. I think Miss Maddie and I will get along fine.
Oh, you dear, dear girl, thank you. I'll be a loving mother too, to be sure.
Well, ladies, looks like divine providence has brought the 2 of you together.
Maddie was true to her word, and we had a wonderful life together. I was adopted and became Marlena Reitman, and lived with Maddie where we ran the grocery together until her death at the age of 81. And I enjoyed a rich life of a good marriage, children, grandchildren, and friends. A life in which I would never be alone. And Maddie was surrounded by her daughter, her grandchildren,
and her friends at the end of hers.
May 1919, an orphan train arrives in Iowa.
All right, boys and girls, we're in Rock Falls, Iowa. The good people of this town have been looking forward to meeting you for a month now and giving you new homes. Be real nice and polite if they ask you any questions. Off now, take your bags. Stay in a single file line.
It was scary. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I have never been out of the city until now. The day we left, we were eating breakfast that morning, and the matron tapped me on the shoulder. "You're going to Iowa," she said. But I told her, "I can't go. I'm not an orphan. My mother's still living. She's in the hospital." But there was no use arguing. They put me on the trains that night. Never even got to say goodbye to my mother.
What's your name, boy?
Yakub Levitz.
How old are you?
I'm 13, ma'am.
You look like you'll do fairly distraught looking, not puny like the others.
And that was it. Like I was a horse or something. She signed the papers and we went to her farm.
Put your bags down here. You'll be sleeping in the shed, then you'll unpack later. Now, listen here, boy. I ain't adopting ya. This ain't your home, it's mine. My husband died 2 years ago, and I've been working the farm ever since with 2 hired hands. You work for me, and I put a roof over your head, food, clothes, and I send you to school till you're 15. That's all I owe you. You worked for your keep. You'll start school in a month or so. Till then, you work the farm with me each day. And what did you say your name was?
Yakub.
Jacob? What kind of name is that?
For me, a perfect name. It means Jacob.
Then we'll call you Jake. Easier to say. Now, go take your things to the shed.
Oy vey. I slept in the shed that night, dank and musty, and I cried. She worked me like a mule. A mule. I just have it so good. The horse and the mule had better shelters than I did. And never a kind word. Not one. I felt like a slave, like my people under Pharaoh. I wrote to the agency, gave a letter to one of her hired hands who gave it to the town's mayor. He came by later that week.
Miss Stokes, ma'am, we've been getting some reports. You haven't been treating that poor orphan boy right. Folks say you never let him off farm. See to this shed.
He has food, clothes, and a roof over his head. I ain't mistreating him. He works for his keep.
Like your other 2 boys that ran off as soon as they could. One had pneumonia. You promised, Miss Stokes, you'd give better treatment. You're taking the boy, ma'am.
Thank God for Mary Cregan. They put me with another family, Edward and Myra Kurtz, an older couple with a small farm. Their other children were grown, so I was like their only child. They spoiled me. But as soon as I turned 18, back to New York, to home I went, back to my old neighborhood. Mama had died the year I left. I found out, and I got invited to live with a rabbi and his family. But it was so good to be back, and I never left New York again after that.
June 1919, an orphan train leaves New York and travels west for over 3 weeks.
I am so scared, Emma. Where did they say we were?
North Dakota? Medina, North Dakota. Yeah. That's what it's called. How can it be called like this in June?
I feel like we're at the ends of the earth, like they're trying to fall off the edge if we went any further.
I hope someone takes us here. I just don't want to get in that train again. I'm tired of riding. I want to wash my face and sleep in a real bed.
They have to take us. There's hardly any boys left.
Justina, I hope we can stay best friends. Maybe if we stay in the same town, we can see each other.
I pray to God we'll be able to see each other, Emma. You're the only person in the world who's dear to me.
Maybe if we tell them we're sisters, they'll take us both.
Miss Lyons would scold us for lying. She has the papers on all of us.
But Justina, we are sisters. In spirit. So it ain't lying.
Here. Now pick your hand. Now put our hands together. Now no matter where we go, well, that will always be sisters.
Hush now, children. The families are here. Line up, stand up straight. Your best manners now.
Well, here we go again. I was taken in by a family in Medina that night. But they wouldn't take Emma, though. No matter how much I begged, she's like my own sister. I said, we left New York together and on the train a whole month. But, no. Well, how she cried when we said goodbye. She got back on the train, Miss Lyons. The only orphan left. And they went west to Bismarck. I never saw her again. Years later, I wrote to the orphan asylum for her address. They wrote back saying she had died of pneumonia 2 years earlier in Bismarck. She always said I hate the cold. But she was only 16. I never had a friend so dear to me as Emma. And those days of riding the orphan train stay with me, even now. At night sometimes, it feels like I'm on the train again, with Emma, riding towards a new life. I was happy, but the other kids at school would hiss, "You're adopted."
Even though they were nice, they were strangers. It was scary sleeping in a strange bed that first night.
I was adopted, and my new parents loved me. But the other kids always referred to me as the orphan girl. The little nanny they called me. We got a letter from New York. It was my father. To see it was all right, they hid the letter. I didn't read it till 12 years later. It's hard to explain. You're loved, and you know you're loved, like their own. But it's not 100%. A part of you separates you from them, but it makes you wonder, forever. 200,000 of us there were. Went to New York after I was grown to ask for my records, but they wouldn't give them to me. Those records are sealed. You're adopted. Don't go in the past. That's what they say to anyone who asks.
But we go right to our past, to our connections with ourselves and where we came from.
And our roots are not pretty far away.
I remember when I was little, back in New York, speaking Italian, Yiddish, German,
Russian.
and now forgotten, lost.
What was my last name?
Do I still have people there? Is my mother still alive? My father?
My brothers and sisters who are separated from me, but we're all Americans, they tell us.
A big melting pot, and we all helped to stir the melting pot a little faster. If she were own daughter,
could not love her more. I always was and still am glad that I took in that girl and raised her like my own.
We treated her just like our own. She gave us joy and made us proud.
No matter what I did for him, he was never happy. He was already ruined when he came to me.
I'm proud to have been an orphan train rider.
Lots of us did not real well.
Back at home. Not all of us now, but a lot of us.
Some of us even made a name for ourselves. Horace Scott, Governor of Alaska, Orphan Train Rider. Andrew Burke, Governor of North Dakota, Orphan Train Rider.
William Bonney, outlaw, known as Billy the Kid, orphan train rider. I, Henry Mono Martin, husband, father, piano teacher, orphan train rider.
Allison Durant, daughter of an orphan train rider.
Aaron James Duran, grandchild of an orphan train rider. Went back to New York for my grandmother's record.
Records bad.
Records to all riders finally opened. Lineage found. Ancestry trade. Over 2 million Americans. Descendants of orphan train riders. I, Sarah Rodriguez, part of my family, part of my heritage. Proud and grateful for
Our heritage. Our roots.
and our orphan train brotherhood.
From 1854 to 1929, over 200,000 children rode the orphan trains across America, mostly children of immigrants, to 48 states and Indian territories.
Colorado, 1,563 riders.
Connecticut, 1,588 riders. Illinois, 9,172 riders.
Indiana, 3,955 riders.
Iowa, 6,675 riders.
Michigan, 5,326 riders.
Minnesota, 3,258 riders.
Missouri, 6,080 riders.
4,977 riders.
New York State, 33,053 riders.
North Dakota, 975 riders.
Ohio, 7,272 riders.
Pennsylvania, 2,679 riders.
Texas, 1,327 riders.
Virginia, 1,634 riders. Wisconsin, 2,750 riders.
The last orphan train left New York in 1929 for West Texas. All were boys, and all were adopted.
time and effort into the show, and I'm pretty sure we did really good. I hope we did. So come here.
We would also like to thank Mrs. Ferrara, whose hard work and dedication
Could not have done this without her, so could she please come down here?
Wasn't there music? I just want to say that I'm super proud of these kids. This is a heavy show. It's not an easy one to do. And for middle school to put on a show this caliber, it's super impressive, and I'm super proud of everyone. So one more round of applause for our cast and crew. Thank you guys so much for coming. Please drive home safe. We're going to go party. You guys be careful in the snow. Thank you. Have a good night.